about closers all the time, and Corey Lupke hopefully is the closer tonight and stop that losing streak for the San Diego Padres, because the young left-hander has been throwing the ball quite well since he's been in the starting rotation. What has made Corey Lupke the stellar starter? Well, he's going to make his fourth start tonight. Out of the bullpen, basically fastball and a slider, but I think you're going to see more of his secondary pitches. The slider, the curveball, and the changeup, but he's not afraid to throw strikes. He's around 70% strikes thrown, and these are great numbers. Hope he can keep it going for the rest of the year.
Those are fantastic numbers. He learned so much in the bullpen the first half of the season, and now as a starter looks like the real deal, and Darren Balsley feels that he's going to get even better as he works on his changeup. Get this, for a youngster in the big stage of the Major League Baseball, in 61 batters that he's faced, he's only walked 3 men.
He is not afraid to throw strikes and pound the strike zone. That tells you that he's not afraid. He trusts his stuff, and he will challenge guys with that fastball. He gets it up around 94 miles an hour. That's a good pitch for Corey.
And he has added incentive tonight. His younger brother, who just graduated from Ohio State, Troy, is here at Petco Park tonight to root him on. So let's look at our starting pitching matchup. It's a repeat of a game up in San Francisco when Zito bested Lupke 2-1. Barry Zito off the DL, pitching like the Zito that won the Cy Young Award at Oakland back in 2002. And Lupke trying to pick up his third win tonight. Our pitching matchup brought to you by Discount Tire, where America saves on tires. Battle of left-handers on a perfect baseball night in San Diego. Petco Park out to Torrey Pines, the Cliffs, and young men having a good time on this beautiful Saturday night. Safe landing. Padres and Giants ready to go at it here. Big crowd, sellout last night. Expected another tonight, well over 100,000 to see the first 3 games of this series. Cameron Maben leading the charge of the Padres onto the field. He will bat in the leadoff spot tonight. On the mound, Corey Lupke, 26-year-old from Ohio, a small town north of Dayton, Maria Stein. And his numbers as a starter are stunning. His pitcher profile brought to you by your San Diego County Cadillac dealers. Stop in today for an attractive lease or purchase offer. Against left-handed batters, 151 average against Lupke. Right-handers are hitting 181.
You know, we talked about Corey Lupke in our pregame show, and there is so much to talk about the young left-hander. He's not afraid to throw strikes. He trusts his stuff. But I think one thing that we've learned is that Corey Lupke really thrives on the big stage. We've got a big crowd tonight here on this Saturday evening at Petco Park, and I think Corey really thrives on that. So this is a big start for the young left-hander trying to get off that losing streak for San Diego.
And trying to beat the first place Giants, who would lead the National League West by 4.5. Here's Bruce Bochy's lineup, brought to you by the Prize Patrol, presented by Jerome's Furniture. Text winning to 269-411 to enter. Aaron Rowan leads it off. Former Padre Miguel Tejada. Pablo Sandoval had his 22-game hitting streak snapped last night. Cody Ross bats cleanup. Nate Scherholtz is in an 8-game hitting streak. Aubrey Huff bats sixth. Eli Whiteside homered a key blow against Lupke in that 2-1 win up in San Francisco for the Giants. Emmanuel Burris gets the start at second base, will hit eighth, and Zito bats ninth. Pablo Sandoval walked a couple of times in a sacrifice fly, so officially only 2 at-bats last night. Disappointed that he was unable to extend his hitting streak. Stepping in is Aaron Rowan, batting .243 and leading the Giants in doubles. And we're underway. Lupke throwing downhill from that 6'4", 206 frame and jumps in front, 2 strikes. In talking with pitching coach Darren Balsley about Lupke tonight, he said he's just scratching the surface. He really feels he's going to be a star pitcher. He's yet to really control his changeup, and when he gets that going along with a slider and a fastball, he's going to really be tough.
Absolutely. That's such a good pitch, and especially, when you load up right-handed hitters against the lefty, that changeup's going to just make him better. You're absolutely right.
1 ball, 2 strikes to Rowan, the veteran who is hitting well against southpaw pitching, .352 this year. Pops it up. Center of the diamond, Orlando Hudson on the edge of the grass, and the second baseman has the first out of the game. Here's how Bud Black has his defense set tonight, with Alberto Gonzalez for the injured Chase Headley. Headley with a calf pull day to day. Bartlett, Hudson, and Guzman around the infield, with Ludwig, Maben, and Denorfia left to right. The fly chasers, and Rob Johnson behind the plate for Lupke.
I like that. The fly chasers. Nice.
Used to call him that. Miguel Tejada, .240 average. When you looked at the lineup the last 2 nights for the Giants against right-handed pitching, they have so many good left-handed hitters. You would think that when you finally turn them around and make them hit right-handed, they wouldn't play as well, but that's not the case at all. They are, against left-handed starters, 18-6 this year. 1-2 to Tejada. In essence, as Tejada fouls that off, the Padres in the offseason free agent dealing traded Tejada for Orlando Hudson. Hudson is .225 with a home run, 15 runs batted in. Tejada is .240 with 3 homers and 25 runs batted in. Pulls that one. Watch out. Get your gloves ready. Way back in the left field area.
You talk about Tejada turning on a fastball. Well, that was a breaking ball down and in. Watch your lips.
1-2 the count. And out of play. Tejada is in the top 10. Toughest to hit, to strike out in the National League. Makes contact, spoils the good ones, as he did there.
There's that changeup you were talking about, Dick, that he just fouled off. Pretty good pitch, just elevated a little bit.
Broken bat, soft liner into center field. Tejada with the game's first base hit. That brings up Pablo Sandoval, and our comparison brought to you by the San Diego Toyota dealers. We've got what it takes. Toyota. Major League comparison. Giants record this season against right-handed starters barely above 500, but eating up lefties 18-6.
We'll have to keep an eye on when the Giants put the ball in play. Now, for instance, Tejada pulled the ball right on the shortstop side. If the right-handed hitters take the left-hander the opposite way.
Sandoval takes a strike, called out by Brian Runge behind the plate. Pablo is hit well from both sides as a switch hitter. 318 right-handed, 297 left-handed. 2 strikes the count. Eight home runs. Second on the club in the long ball department behind Aubrey Huff, who has 9. Good cut there at a fastball.
You mentioned the changeup a little bit ago, Dick, and this is the perfect type of hitter where I think Corey Lupke can utilize that changeup. We know that Sandoval loves to swing the bat, right? He comes out of his shoes. Nothing better than to pull the string on it, looks like a fastball, and just screw himself right into the ground. How about going up the ladder here and make him chase?
Soft foul fly off first. Running out of room, however, is Guzman. That'll be a souvenir.
I think that last pitch may have been too good of a pitch. Remember, Sandoval, he'll swing at anything. This is a breaking ball down and in. Ooh, just in off the plate. That's one that he could pull.
Tejada with his lead at first. Infield set for 2. Outfield shaded toward right field for Pablo Sandoval. Foul back toward us and over our heads upstairs. High fastball. Tough time of the night. Lots of shadows, especially growing from the left field corner across the field. Light standard shadows behind the mound. Center fielder Maben out of the sun straight away. Got him. There's the breaking ball down and in. A good slider. First strikeout for Lupke.
Great pitch. Remember the one we talked about inside? He fouled it off. This one, look where it ends up. Right by that back foot. Out of the hand, get up on top, pull that string. He hits the back foot of Sandoval, and he is down swinging.
Left fielder Cody Ross homered last night. 7th of the season. And a fastball strike. The reason the Giants, or one of the reasons that they are in first place, enjoying a 4.5 game lead over Arizona, is they've been outstanding against National League West competition. They have a winning record against all 4 other teams and a total of 24-13. Those are, there are wins and then there are wins. You beat those that you're competing against. It's almost like not a 1 game edge, but a 2 game edge. You
right.
Push them down 1 and you jump ahead of them by 1.
That's right. How about Corey Lupke? He's been 0-2 on every hitter he's faced this inning. Rowan, Tejada, Sandoval, now Ross.
Got him swinging a good-looking fastball at 92. So Lupke continues with the strikeout pace as a starter. No runs, a Tejada single. He's left at first. Coming up, Maben, Bartlett, and DeNorfia for the Padres. most of those under 75 miles an hour. Looking even taller than he is with those socks showing, the old three-striped Giants of yesteryear. 33-year-old, born in Las Vegas, high school here at University High in San Diego, pitched a year at UCSB with the Gauchos, and then at Southern California with the Trojans on All-America. First man he faces is Cameron Maben. 84, and that's his fastball.
You got to stay back. You got to let it travel. Take him the opposite way.
Right back to Zito. One hopper and a quick out. A look at Bud Black's Padre lineup presented by Ashford University's Homers for Heroes. If any Padre in tomorrow's lineup hits a home run, Ashford will donate $2,500 to Operation Homefront. Maben, who hits well against lefties. Bartlett Denorfia drops into the third spot in the batting order. I can't remember him ever hitting there. Ryan Ludwig cleanup. Jesus Guzman, Orlando Hudson, Alberto Gonzalez bats seventh. Catcher Rob Johnson and the pitcher Lupke. With the entry to Chase Headley, Bud Black having to alter his lineup. Headley normally would be in that 3 spot.
In fact, it's the first time that Chris Denorfia this year has batted in the number 3 spot. We'll see how that turns out.
1 ball, 1 strike to Jason Bartlett. Off speed and taken upstairs, a curveball.
Remember last time out for Barry Zito, he was working the changeup, hitting his spots with location on the fastball, and he did not walk a Padre in those 8 innings.
And struck out 7 his season high.
Since he's been back in the starting rotation, since being off the DL, fewer hits than innings pitched, and he's cutting down on the walks.
3-1 to Bartlett. And he walks Bartlett. Well, maybe that's a positive sign for the Padres. Get some free passes from Zito. Brings up Denorfia. Padres making a player move before the game. Luis Martinez, who made his major league debut last night, up a couple of times, hit the ball hard both times. A line drive to the pitcher and a long out to deep center field, sent back to Tucson. Logan Forsythe making his 3rd trip back to the big club from Tucson, as the Padres need that infield glove. With Headley injured, they don't know how serious that might be. Denorfia, 279. Zito does not have a great move for a left-hander, but he keeps you honest.
You have to be aware of the snap throw. That's when he comes into the stretch, and that back foot comes back off the rubber, and the dart throw over to first base.
Ball 1.
You know, hopefully the Padres can take advantage of some off-speed pitches up in the zone. Elevated fastballs, elevated breaking balls. I talk about taking Zito the opposite way, but if you get an elevated curveball, hey, try to spin on it and hack it down that left field line. Try to pull it if it's on the inner half.
Bartlett, the leading base stealer for the Padres, with 18. They lead the National League, and he's off. Denorfia takes, and it's an easy steal. Number 19 for Bartlett.
Zito into the stretch at the belt buckle, and he was off even before Zito made the first move towards home plate.
That's how Bory Wills, one of the best of all time, said it's easier to steal off left-handers. Sometimes you're going and they're just watching you. They've already made up their mind to go to the plate. That was a case in point.
Absolutely. And somewhere King Stallman is smiling. That's a King Stallman stolen base.
Give him some more. I like when the King jumps up and down.
Absolutely.
And Denorfia did a good job also of knowing that Bartlett was stealing, squaring and bunting and making things a little more difficult, giving the catcher Whiteside something to see at home plate as well. He's worked the count to 2-0. Padres with a chance to take the early lead. 3-0.
Well, we found out that Chris Denorfia in the number 3 spot for his career, 2 for 2 with a home run.
So you got to know those things as a manager to put him in just in the right spot.
Absolutely.
3-1 the count. 82 on the fastball.
You know, he will change speeds on the fastball as well, but he also throws the changeup. We know all about that. Fastball, curve, change, and a slider from Zito.
Ground ball to shortstop. Tejada. 2 away. A look at the Giants defense brought to you by North County GMC, a Southern California tradition for over 20 years. Sandoval at third, Tejada the shortstop. Burris gets the start at second base and Huff at first. Ross, Rowan, Shearholtz in the outfield, Whiteside behind the plate. And Zito on the mound. So he gets Denorfia to ground out on a 3-1 pitch. Runner at third, 2 out for Ryan Ludwig. Ooh, good stop by Whiteside. That pitch in the dirt. With Denorfia failing to bring in Bartlett, who is in scoring position. The Padres are now 1 for the last 40 runners in scoring position. And that explains the slump. They've had men on base, just can't come up with a big hit. Let's see what Ludwig does. 2-0. Now Zito already not as sharp as he was up in San Francisco.
And it's worth mentioning, I think, in this situation, if in fact Zito throws the breaking ball like that last pitch, right, to go 2-0 with a runner on third, do you think that he might be a little reluctant to really try to bury that curveball because a wild pitch scores a run? That curveball wasn't even close. He might be pitching around Ludwig here. You never know. Yeah.
Way high and outside.
Even though there's a righty on deck, I think he would rather face Guzman than Ludwig.
Well, that figures. You got the veteran Ludwig, the top run producer, home run hitter, and RBI man for the Padres with those numbers. 11 homers, 55 runs batted in, and then you've got the relatively inexperienced Guzman. Yeah, that was a pitch around, so first and third. Couple of walks. And that brings up Guzman, hitting .273 in a short stint with the big club. Has a home run. Former Giant property Guzman. Lifetime 300 hitter in the minors. Always a good hit. Well, couldn't find a position for him defensively. High again. So most of the pitches for Zito up in the strike zone.
That looked like a changeup working underneath. Been wanting to see about 15 or 20 pitches from Zito, but it looks like that elbow is kind of working underneath the ball a little bit and pushing it, hence the high pitches. Again.
High again.
Time for a little chat from Eli Whiteside and the big Ragu. Dave Righetti.
Yeah, here he comes.
Pretty good left-hander in his day, huh?
Wasn't he? Stylish.
Oh, love to watch him pitch. And he's a good one, too. Not only did he have good stuff, but he knew how to pitch, set up hitters. And he can carry that over to his pitchers, especially a guy like Barry Zito.
I mean, Zito as a veteran, great career, 145 wins. Not much you can tell him other than just go out there and, hey, just settle him down. You know, don't let him continue to get in the pattern. And the pattern has been high with all his pitches.
Let's see if he throws a breaking ball, like a short breaking ball, like a slider, to force him to get down into the zone right here. Or throw over to first base.
You were right on both occasions. 2-0 on Guzman. Padres with runners at the corners here in the first inning, trying to get a lead early. Giants making such a huge investment in Zito and acquiring him as a free agent. That's a strike. A changeup that just did catch the strike zone. Now here's the action pitch. 2-1. Guzman ready to take a cut. Bartlett at third. Ludwig at first. Hits it high and pretty deep to left field. Ross is going back and touch of all! Jesus Guzman, 3-0 Padres.
Praise Jesus.
Been a long time to say this. First inning, Padres 3, opponents nothing.
That's one of the pitches I was talking about. Zito has been up. It looked like an off-speed pitch. Out in front of it just a little bit, but enough strength to get it into the first row and a souvenir, and the Padres are on the board.
And on the board and on the board. 3-0, Guzman's second career Major League homer. So the 2 walks pay off. That set the table for Guzman. Here's Orlando Hudson hitting .225. Well, here at nearly 6 o'clock in the evening, that ball carrying just enough for Guzman. I'm not sure that had been a homer at 9 o'clock at night. But it's been a long time coming for the Padres hitting a home run with men on base, much less a 3-run shot.
Hey, here's the stat to chew on. The Padres, when they score 3 or more runs, 36-16. They're at 3 right now in the first inning.
2-1 to Hudson. Bouncer back to the mound, and Zito takes care of business, but the Padres get 3 runs on a hit. A big one. Guzman, second home run of the year. And we go to the second. San Diego 3, San Francisco nothing. And underway now in the second inning as Aubrey Huff follows Nate Sherholtz. Whiteside due third against Corey Lupke. Working with a 3-0 lead. That's been a luxury too few starting pitchers for the Padres have enjoyed. 1-1. Foul back by Sherholtz, who has hit safely in the last 8 games. Batting .382, and he's been terrific in July. Last 18 games at .382 as well, with 3 homers, 2 of those against the Padres. Fouled into the glove of Johnson, strike 3. That's 3 in a row for Lupke. Got Sandoval and Ross on strikes to close out the first inning, and a slider bests Sherholtz.
Getting ahead and expanding the strike zone. That's exactly what Lupke does. A good sharp slider down and away.
Footnote on Guzman's home run, measured at 374 feet. Swing and a miss by Huff. The Giants leader with 9 homers, 46 runs batted in. As we mentioned a couple of nights ago, the Giants are the only team in the major leagues that do not have a hitter with double-figure home runs. Huff is close. And quickly, Lupke throwing strikes ahead on the count.
Hey, you know how we talk about Chase Headley being full count? Count 0-2 for Lupke. How about it? 5 times he's had hitters at 0-2 early in the ball game.
Ground ball back to the mound, gloved nicely by Lupke. An easy 1-3 put out.
He needs a quick inning here after that 3 spot, huh?
Brings up Eli Whiteside, who did homer a solo against Lupke in San Francisco in the 2-1 win recorded by Zito. By the way, Hudson hit the last 3-run home run for the Padres, and you got to go all the way back to the trip to Boston almost 4 weeks ago since the Padres celebrated a 3-run shot. First pitch over but low to the Giants catcher. Checking in at 248. Had that fastball by him.
Yes, he did.
Upstairs, 2-1. Just been exciting to see the development of Lupke this year. Oh, that's just a swinging at a whisper there. Whiteside, 2-2.
That's one of the luxuries I think Corey has in a fastball count. He can go to the fastball. You can see how far behind Eli Whiteside is on that fastball away.
Just able to protect on that fastball at 93. Good catch made by a fan off to our right.
Keep pounding that strike zone with the fastball if, in fact, you're going to throw a breaking ball. That back foot for a ball. Not in the zone.
Full count now to Whiteside with Emmanuel Burris, the second baseman, waiting his turn. 2 out, bases empty, top of the second, and the Padres enjoying a 3-0 lead early. Ball 4. Now Lupke, who, as we mentioned in our pregame setup, has walked only 3 batters as a starter, loses Whiteside. Burris, speedster, gets a start tonight at second base. Freddie Sanchez on the DL, so several players for the Giants used by Bruce Bochy at the Keystone. Ball 1. Burris hitting right-handed, 158. Left-handed a little better, 225. There's a strike, 1-1. Brian Runge following the patterns of the crew chief Tim McClellan. He gives you a long pause.
A little delay there?
Yeah. It's become the style, hasn't it? Off the fist, roll to second. Easy play for Hudson, and that's it for the Giants in the second. A walk. They leave their second man. We come to the Padres' second with Gonzalez, Johnson, and Lupke to bat. Tomorrow, the Padres and Giants finish this 4-game set. 1:05 our start time. It's Military Appreciation Day, as always, on Sunday, and military T-shirts to you kids, presented by Northrop Grumman. The first 8,000, 14 and younger, receive a free Padres military T-shirt. Get your tickets tonight at Padres.com. It'll be Matt Latos and Matt Cain tomorrow. Pom-pom giveaway tonight, young and old. Well, the Padres, the last time they had a 3-run inning was the last time they won a game. That was that 5-3 victory back on July 5th in San Francisco, when they scored 3 in the 6th inning on their way to the 5-3 win.
Well, it's nice to see the sellout last night and a huge attendance tonight as well on this beautiful Saturday night here at Petco Park. A lot of people seeing some exciting baseball early on.
Alberto Gonzalez at third base for Chase Headley. Had a couple of walks and a single last night. 2-1 the count.
4 of the 6 hitters in the first inning for Zito went 2-0, and that's flirting with disaster.
Strike 2, 2-2. The last 3 starts for Zito. He's 3-0 with a 1.29 ERA. Slow curveball, just missed the outside corner, curved around the plate. Full count to Gonzalez. That'll be out of play, right field side.
Now that's the pitch you got to try to drive. You know, it's easier said than done. Drive towards right center field. That fastball down and away from Zito. You try pulling it, and the left side of the infield is going to be busy on an easy grounder.
Another foul.
Well, those fans on the right field side are going to need some sunglasses. Hopefully they brought their glove to the ballpark to shade their eyes from the sun. He's got his shades on, and he's going home with a souvenir.
Pretty happy about it, too.
Yeah, he's got the 24-ouncer rocking, too. Good for him.
And another pitch spoiled by Gonzalez.
It's a Ray-Ban night.
This was just about as perfect a day as you'll ever have.
Yep.
We have a lot of them here in San Diego, but this was precious. Full count. Gonzalez waits. And takes ball 4. Third walk from Zito. And the leadoff man is on. And Padres and Espanol is presented by the Ascot Shop, serving San Diego with fine men's fashion for over 60 years. Why don't you visit them in La Jolla or at AscotShop.com.
I wore my Ascot tie tonight from the Ascot Shop.
I like that. The purple's a very regal look on you.
Love the look. And you introduced me to the purple look. I'm big on it.
Rob Johnson, 176 his average. Infield looks for a double play ball. Breaking ball for a strike. 69.
I think Zito kind of got squeezed on that walk pitch to Gonzalez, and according to Carlos Jr. pitch tracks, right on the outside corner, knee high, a pitcher's pitch. But Barry Zito did not get the call, so hopefully the Padres can take advantage of that walk.
Lots of shadows. Johnson swing and a miss at a 70-mile-an-hour curveball.
Tough scenery down there in the batter's box. The batter's eye is dark out in center field, but Rob Johnson finds himself in a little bit of sunlight along with Barry Zito.
Gonzalez has only 1 steal.
You know, it's guys like Barry Zito, especially in this situation when he's kind of inconsistent with the strike zone. You got to jump on him early. This is the first time this at bat with Johnson, a first pitch strike.
In the dirt. Curveball. 1-2.
21 balls, 15 strikes, a total of 36 pitches for the veteran left-hander.
He was throwing nothing but strikes up in San Francisco.
Yes, he was.
As you pointed out, 8 innings, didn't walk a man. So here, 3 walks already, and he doesn't have an out in the 2nd inning. Runner goes. High. Throw by Whiteside. And out is Gonzalez. Boy, that's a perfect throw by Whiteside. The catchers for San Francisco have had trouble throwing out base runners, but Whiteside with a strike right on the bag.
First move, he is off and running. It was a high fastball. Well, you talked about Eli Whiteside throwing a perfect strike to second base. He did just that. How close was it? Tries to avoid. Ooh, you know what? That was a very close play, but he comes off the bag, it looks like. Tim McClellan with the call.
And there's strike three. Johnson knew it. He was on his way to the bench as before plate umpire rung him up. First strikeout for Zito. Corey Lupke looking for his first major league hit. He's 0 for 13. Once again, the fastball is high.
Working under it just a little bit.
And this next pitch from Zito will be his 40th in 2 innings.
Hey, I know batting practice is batting practice, and there's a difference between a 420 hitter in the afternoon than 705 or 535, whatever. But Corey Lupke now, we know he's an athlete. He can put a charge in one now if he can get a hold of one.
That one bends in there for a strike. Runs the fastball over the inside corner.
I'd like to see him square one up.
Good swing, fouls it away. Boy, our radars are in a battle. One radar, ours on Channel 4, had 79 and it was 83 up on the scoreboard. Struck him out. So a couple of strikeouts for Zito in the second. No harm done by the leadoff walk. And we go to the third. The Padres leading 3-0. It's party night at the park, and our next Friday night, July 29th, country night. Padres and the Rockies will play the game at 7:05, and you can enjoy a live country band, specialty drinks, barbecue, and more. Gates open at 4:30. First pitch 7:05. Admission is free with a paid ticket. Get your country night tickets at Padres.com.
Can't beat that. Sounds like a great night.
Quick strike to Zito, and now 0-2 the count on the Giants hitter. He is 0 for 9 this season. What's your favorite country song? I kind of like, we'll wait till this pitch, 0-2. I got tears in my ears from lying on my back crying over you. I like that one.
Who sings that one?
Who cares? Ground ball to the mound, and Lupke takes care of Zito.
I like Elvira by the Oak Ridge Boys. That's an oldie but a goodie.
Yeah, Marv Levy, the former coach of the Buffalo Bills, his favorite was, I'd rather have a bottle in front of me than a frontal lobotomy.
That's a good one.
Yeah, that was a hit too.
And anything from the Good Old Boys, especially maybe the Good Old Blues Brothers boys. The theme song from Rawhide. It's probably one of my favorite country songs.
That had that one really high punctuation mark in it, didn't it? Rawhide,
right?
Huh?
Exactly. Who was the star in that in Rawhide in the show? Was it not Matt Dillon? Was it?
No, it wasn't Dillon.
I'll get back to you on that one.
Might have been Bernie Mazzola. I'm not sure.
Sam Liederkranz?
There you got it. Rowan popped to second this first time, 1-2 the count. I hope people don't take it seriously.
You can't.
I'm sure they don't. Drive to center. Maben there. 2 away.
Had a nice discussion with Cameron Maben before the ball game around the batting cage. What a great kid. And talked a little bit about his family. And he says, you know what? My dad, Rudy, watches every night. So I wanted to give a big old Channel 4 hello to Cameron's dad, Rudy, who watches.
Back in Carolina, huh?
Yes. Your son's a good man, Mr. Cameron Maben. Mr. Maben. I'll get it right.
Well, it's the way young people say thank you to their parents, isn't it? By
Absolutely.
being a good person.
Yep. And he's a good one.
Tejada has the only Giants hit. And the count goes 1-1 on the shortstop. He singled to center field with 1 out in the first inning. Bases empty here in the third. 3-0 Padres. Up high, 2-1.
It's a good pitch.
Apparently outside, 3-1. Sharply hit, but right at Bartlett. One shortstop, throws out another, and it's a 1-2-3 inning for Lupke. Middle of the third at Petco, and the Padres enjoy a 3-0 lead. By Permadontics, Southern California's premier dental implant center. By Hughes Marino, because where you do business matters. And by Cox High-Speed Internet. Power all your devices with the fastest internet in San Diego. With Mark Grant, Dick Enberg, we go to the bottom of the third inning. Padres lead 3-0. Top of the order, Maben, Bartlett, and Denorfia. And joining us in our Channel 4 San Diego booth is former Padre Kurt Bavacqua, 15 years in the big leagues. Kurt, great to see you.
How are you, Dick?
Good, good. You brought some runs, huh?
I know your scorebook was so big.
Well, you know, that's
it's a lot huge scorebook.
Lots of stuff in here, you know. Barry Zito working on Cameron Maben to start this third inning. Now, Kurt, I know that you're the honorary commissioner of the San Diego Senior Olympic Games, and for men and women 50 years and older in our city and our county, a chance to compete in, a whole Olympic formula, and a lot of fun as well. Ground ball by Sandoval. That's going to take a strong throw by Tejada, and he just does get Maben. No argument from Dave Roberts, who coached it first, one away.
Yeah, it should be a great time, Dick. It's as a matter of fact, the Senior Olympics, the Padres will donate $5 for every ticket sold through the website for the July 31st game against the Rockies. It's a 105 game here. The games take place throughout the month of September, with them accumulating on, I believe, October 9th with the surfing competition, Open Oceanside.
So can't wait to see that.
So there's going to be competition at various venues, just like the Olympics.
Absolutely. These people are amazing. And don't think for 1 minute that they can't compete. I'm not going out there.
Jason Bartlett up. He walked and scored on Guzman's home run back in the first inning. Well, the sports are golf, tennis, billiards, surfing, fitness activities, badminton, ballroom dancing. Oh, Mud, that's you.
Absolutely. I'm all over it.
You're too young. Bartlett grounds to first, and he's safe. Bartlett beats Zito to the bag. You got to score that an infield hit.
It's good hustle.
That's the way you used to hustle down the line.
That's right. But I was out by half a step all the time.
Is there a little humpy hump? Yeah, see the feed from Huff and Zito. It's just a race to the bag. How close is it? Oh, yes. Absolutely. Good call. Bartlett safe.
A one-out base hit for Bartlett then brings up Chris Denorfia.
Kurt, is there an entry fee for the Olympics?
No.
No entry fee.
Anybody 50 years or older.
Well, you have to register. No, there's
yes.
$25 to register.
Okay.
To get on the list. You have to,
right.
Modest fee of $25. Bowling, handball, paddleball, racquetball, miniature golf. Now there we're talking miniature golf. Well, I can, through that windmill thing, I might just win that, and I qualify. I'm barely over 50, but
I've got to wait 12 more years, Kurt, before I can enter.
Is that right?
Yeah, whatever.
I knew you lied.
I didn't see shuffleboard on there. Is shuffleboard one of the events?
It should be. If it was in Florida, it would.
Mayor Jerry Sanders has proclaimed September San Diego Senior Olympic Games month.
How did you get involved, Kurt?
There's a gap there. Well, I've done a lot of events with the gentleman that's helping him put this together. Dave Marish up in North County, and he got in touch with me, asked me if I would help, and I had kind of seen things about it the year before and said, sure, let's do it.
Well, it's a noble cause, and it gives the opportunity. Our city, our county is fitness oriented. People are active and they like to compete, and here's a chance. And there's so many. It's stunning how really good. Some of you get up to 60, 70, 80, and they're out there playing ball.
I don't think you can beat them either. It's really amazing.
Denorfia takes a strike, and the count 1-1 on Chris, who grounded to short his first at bat.
The 70-year-olds aren't going to compete against the 50-year-olds, though. They have a 5-year break. Like the 50 will compete through 55, and then if you're 56 to 60, then they compete, and then so on and so forth. So it gives everybody a break, and they have first, second, and third places in all of the age divisions. So it's a lot of fun for everybody.
Doesn't it go on from there? They might, winners compete against other areas. I think that is there like a national senior Olympics?
That's a good question. We're going to have to find out about that. They should. It should be.
I was wondering, when we look at these events, are there certain venues that where they're going to be at? Because people in the county might say, hey, the badminton venue is near where I live, so I might want to get involved. And there you see the website, sdseniorgames.org.
That's where they'll get all the information.
There goes Bartlett. The throw, not in time, into center field, but with a head-first slide, Bartlett can't pick himself up and scamper on for another 90. So that's a second stolen base for Bartlett tonight. He now has 20, and the Padres will lead the National League with 93.
It's all in the jump. First move. He is off and running. And it looked like a pitch that was easy to handle for Whiteside. He just short hops him and the runner in scoring position.
So anybody that's interested in going to the game that day against the Rockies, please go on the website and buy your tickets through the site from the Padres, and they're generous enough to make a donation to Senior Olympics.
Watch out. Late swing from DeNorfia. The count is 2-2. So, again, if you would like to compete, one of those sports tracks you. $25 is all it costs for registration. You've got to be at least 50. And let's make this a big affair and have a lot of fun in the month of September, the competition.
Are you going to invite Tommy Lasorda, Kurt?
I was thinking about teaming up with him in the backgammon competition. Try to hit him in the back of the head with a racket. Nah, I wouldn't do that to Tommy.
Hit him in the back with a gammon, huh?
Tommy's my old buddy. Can't stand it.
Inside. Somebody once said if BS was music, Lasorda would be the Boston Pops.
Oh, I've never heard that before. I'm going to remember that one.
Full count now to DeNorfia.
Kurt,
and he takes ball 4.
I've got a question for you, Kurt. The baseball world and the Padre family, you know, mourning the loss of a great manager, Dick Williams, who you played for. You know a lot about Dick. And the one thing that's etched in my mind is when you dressed up like Dick Williams that one day, put a little gray in your hair, a little gray in your mustache, put the readers on, sitting in the dugout. Your thoughts of...
It's amazing how much I look like.
It was amazing.
It really was.
You know, you were a veteran guy at that point. What did you learn from Dick Williams? Because you'd been in the league for a long, long time.
And don't think for 1 minute that you can't learn from somebody, even though you've been around for a long time. Dick Williams is a great, great, great baseball manager. And I don't think he got, you know, he's in the Hall of Fame in Cooperstown. But I think if you ask the average fan and you ask him the 5 to 10 greatest managers in baseball, I don't think any of them would mention him. But he deserves to be up there.
Here's Ludwig, 2 on, 1 away, an infield hit and a walk. Padres trying to add to the 3-0 lead. Ground ball sharply but foul. Well, you go back to your career and that '84 World Series, the one game that the Padres did win, you hit a 3-run homer. That's got to be when you you lie back at night and digesting all the things in your life. You think about that one moment, a 3-run homer in the series.
You know what I do, Dick? I Google Lasorda rants, and I listen to the tape whenever I'm sitting back and just wanted some enjoyment. That really was a fun time.
Snap throw to first, and it's not in time. Slap tag by Hupp, but they were close to catching DeNorfia wandering.
Looked like it was a timing play. Whiteside's got the front door open down the first base line with the right-handed hitter. And that you know, that's a gutsy play because the throw has to be on line. There's Huff sneaking behind him. Close.
It was fun being a San Diegan in '84 when we clinched the National League Championship. It was a fun time.
Slow curveball doesn't drop in there. 2-1. Here again is the internet line, sdseniorgames.org, to get the information, and let's make this a big affair. It's going to be a lot of fun for all you athletes 50 and older. 50's young. Fastball on the outside edge. 2-2 to Ludwig. He walked in the first inning, and then Guzman followed with the 3-run homer.
So what's Kurt Provocateur doing these days besides getting the Senior Olympics going?
I'm working. I've got a business up in North County. We sell products to car dealers, and it's fun time. I'm having a good time.
Good for you.
Fly ball shallow center. Rowan there for the out. 2 away. And that brings up Guzman. He came up the last time with 2 men aboard and hit that 374-foot home run into the left field lower deck. Here he is with 2 mates aboard again.
How often do you get out to the ballpark, Kurt?
I usually come a few times a year. Most of the time it's has something to do with the ball club wanting me to come down for one thing or another, or promoting something. I very seldom come down on my own and just schmooze with.
Well, you're welcome anytime. You know that.
I am. Thank you. I'm going to take you up on that.
First pitch.
Because I know you're big in town now.
Yeah.
2 on, 2 out for the Padres here in the third, and Zito 61 pitches. Guzman waits. Line drive, base hit left field. On the run is Bartlett. Here comes the throw from Ross in left field. Offline to third and safe. Denorfia, 4-0 San Diego. Jesus Guzman, a 4 RBI night, and we're not out of the third inning yet.
He took advantage of an elevated pitch in the first inning for a 3-run shot. That pitch looks like it's up as well. Out in front of it, of the soft tossing Zito, and then the race is on. Cody Ross kind of pulls that throw to home plate. And another runner in scoring position. Runners at the corners. Nicely done. Jesus Guzman.
Brings up Orlando Hudson, who bounced to the mound his first time. Well, here's a Padre team in the last 6 games, the last 65 innings. They've scored only 5 runs. They've got 4 tonight, and we're still in the third.
Kurt, you were a hitter going through a slump collectively for the team. I mean, you press. I don't care if you play 1 year in the big leagues or 15. You press, don't you?
Absolutely. You're trying to do a little more than you should be, and it's all subconscious because you know the other guys are struggling and you're trying to do a little bit more, and it's, I tell you what, it's catchy. We all know that.
I believe it.
It really is. Hey, the Giants struggle for runs, too. I was talking to Boach before the game tonight. You know, these two teams are very similar. They both have good pitching staffs, and they both struggle offensively. They have to do the little things, and the game's changed.
That's well hit by Hudson. Back goes Ross. Hudson will touch them all. My, oh my, 7 runs for the Padres, a pair of 3-run homers. Denorfia, Guzman score in front of Hudson, who has hit his 2nd homer of the year.
Let's see where the pitch is. It is up, it is elevated, and it is gone. The Padres taking advantage of the high pitches out of the hand of Barry Zito. And if I had to pitch to a guy like Bavacqua, I'd send that guy a limousine every time he was in the lineup.
Don't you wish you could say everything? And I'll tell you what, guys, that's contagious, too.
Yes, it is.
What's going on today is contagious. I'm taking credit for it because I've been to 2 games this year, and the ball club scored 13 runs, and it's only in the 3rd inning tonight.
Hey, we better lock him up. Put some leg bands around him, and we'll put him, Kurt, in our closet here. Here is Alberto Gonzalez. He walked his first time up. Well, to tell you how difficult it is for the Padres to accomplish what we've seen tonight, a pair of home runs in a game, not necessarily 3-run homers, just 2 home runs in a game. They have not done that this year in a span of 56 games. It's the longest drought of hitting 2 homers in a game,
wow,
going all the way back to 1983. Line drive past Hoff, and Gonzalez has a base hit.
You ain't going anywhere, Cha-Cha.
Guy went the other way with a pitch on the outside corner. That's a pretty good at-bat right there for a guy that's not hitting the ball very well.
And
He's struggling.
I mentioned it early in the game with Zito out there, a guy who is a soft tosser, and that was a breaking ball. To stay inside a breaking ball like that, and Jesus Guzman is up and cheering his team on. It is contagious tonight. You are absolutely right, Kurt Bavacqua.
Winning perpetuates winning. You get in that circle, and everyone seems to swing a good bat, and when you're struggling, it is contagious as well. And the Padres breaking out tonight against Zito have a 7-0 lead. A couple of 3-run homers. The last time they've accomplished that, the Padres, was a year ago in August against the Dodgers. Venable and Headley hit 3-run shots. Rob Johnson struck out his first time. And the count 0-2.
So did you get a chance? You talked to Boach. Did you get a chance to talk to Flan?
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Flan threw a story out there as soon as I walked in the coach's room.
He's a beauty, isn't he?
about Dick. Dick aired me out one night in the Philadelphia Philly manager's office, and I got picked off for first base. Carlton picked me off for first base, and when he was thrown over to first, I was making a move to second. I wasn't stealing.
Right. Secondary lead, right?
Exactly. And he said the club, Dick was just screaming at the top of his lungs, and everybody in the clubhouse, when I walked out of his office, had their head between his legs, and I just threw my arms up in the air, and I went, Mr. Perfect, when I walked. Kind of loosened people up.
And Johnson called out on strikes. Well, Kurt Bavakwa, thank you for bringing a 4-run inning with us, and good luck with the Senior Olympics, San Diego Senior Olympics. Again, folks, San Diego Senior Olympics registration starts in a week on July 22nd. Come back and see us again.
Appreciate it, Kurt. Thank you, Mark.
Well done.
Thank you, guys.
7-0 Padres. Tonight's trivia question brought to you by AT&T Wireless. Tonight's question: in his major league debut, how about this? Willie McCovey goes 4 for 4 against a Hall of Fame pitcher. Can you name that pitcher? Answer bottom half of the inning as Pablo Sandoval leads it off for the Giants, who have just one hit and a walk-off. Lupke threw 3. Sandoval struck out swinging his first time. And he can't find that one. And once again, Lupke in front of the hitter, 2 strikes.
Well, you talk about having a cushion, having some breathing room. Corey Lupke looking at a 7-run lead here and tossing up some zeros. Attack these hitters. Keep going after them like you've been doing the first 3 innings.
Sandoval, Ross, and Shearholtz, the heavy end of the Giants' order against Lupke here in the 4th. Forget about the score, you're saying.
Absolutely.
Go right after him. That was a good-looking fastball running in on the hands.
You know what he needs to do, Dick? Keep pounding the zone early strikes. 8 of the 12 hitters that Corey has faced this afternoon have gone 0-2. That's very impressive.
That's going to be trouble just inside the foul line and into the corner. Denortia has trouble fielding it, and so Sandoval hustles his way around second, and he's into third with a triple. Going the opposite way. Took a funny bounce out there in the corner and kicked past the right fielder. And Denorfia, by the time he's able to scoop it up, Sandoval hustling has a triple.
That was a high changeup to Sandoval. We've seen him shorten up from the left side, and now from the right side. You know, I'm wondering if they're going to they are going to score that a triple. I thought they might go double and an error, but that is a triple for Sandoval.
Brings up Cody Ross. Ross struck out his first at bat. Now the Giants trying to break through and score their first run here in the 4th. Broken bat foul. Half the bat lands almost at third base. Oh, that gentleman has that shirt I was talking about, that Padre shirt.
Is that the one you're going to be wearing, sporting in South Florida?
Well, it's kind of like that. I have less palm trees and more like Friar and pennants and that
history
thing.
Of the Padres.
Oh, you're going to love it. I mean, I'm telling you.
Cannot wait.
And you can't take it from me because I don't think it's going to fit.
The buttons won't match with the...
And even the buttons are baseballs.
Really?
Yeah. 1-1. High fly ball, fairly shallow. Now he has to back up to Norfia. Gets a running start. Here comes Sandoval, and the throw's way offline. Over the head of everyone. Lupke backing up, and the run scores 7-1. San Diego. Ross with his 27th RBI of the year.
Well, he played it right. Backing up and then charging into the baseball. Maybe caught it a little too high over the head and worked like a pitcher. You work underneath the ball. I mean, that's quite a force. That's quite a momentum going towards home plate. You work underneath that baseball, and that's why it went so far over home plate.
Brings up Nate Sherholtz, who struck out swinging his first at bat, and then Huff to follow. Ground ball right side. Guzman to Lupke. 3-1 put out. 2 gone here in the Giants' fourth. Huff bounced to the mound his first time. By the way, Sandoval, that was his first triple of the season. But of course it took a tough carom for him to, that's basically a double, and only because of the triple the Giants have a run, able to get him home from third on a sacrifice fly. Huff leaving his mark on this series on Thursday night. Huff, Huff, Huff. Big bad wolf there in the stands. He got 1, 2.
I couldn't make out that last number.
2-0 to Aubrey Huff.
Oh, there you go, Dick. 128. And what the significance of that is, we don't know.
Swing and a miss at a fastball. 2-1. Three balls and a strike. And with a lead at 7-1, you don't want to put any men on with walks. Make them hit it. Pops him up left side. Foul territory. Actually, Johnson, the catcher, takes care of it. And the Giants are out. They get a leadoff triple from Sandoval. He comes in on the sacrifice fly, and we go to the bottom of the fourth. Padres 7, Giants 1. Columbus trivia answer. The question: in his major league debut, Willie McCovey went 4 for 4 against what Hall of Fame pitcher? And the answer is Robin Roberts of the Philadelphia Phils. That was back in 1959, just about the anniversary of that. McCovey 4 for 4, had 2 triples and 2 singles for stretch breaking into the big leagues. Ground ball by Lupke to the right side, and a quick throw and out for 3 as Lupke. First ball hunting. That takes us to Cameron Maben, and a look at Willie McCovey, a Hall of Famer in 1986. One of the all-time home run hitters, and in fact at Candlestick Park. Oh, look at those unis.
Yeah.
Pittsburgh Pirates. McCovey became the top home run hitter, left-handed hitter in Giants history, passing Mel Ott, hitting his 512th home run.
The trajectory of the baseball off the bat of Willie McCovey was unbelievable. He hit some moonshots.
Isn't he the only one to hit? No, it's he and Willie Stargell over the pavilion in Dodger Stadium in right field.
So. And what a great man. He still goes to the games quite a bit.
Yeah, we saw him up in San Francisco.
Yeah.
Well, he was the one hitter that my old partner Don Drysdale could not get out.
But what a great day in the big leagues, huh? Debut off of Robin Roberts. That is a good day in the big leagues.
4 for 4, 2 triples. Ground ball sharply up the middle, and a ground ball to center fielder Aaron Rowan for a base hit. Maben.
Nicely done. That's music to my ears.
Brings up Jason Bartlett. He walked and scored. Singled infield hit. He beat Zito to first base on a ground ball hit to the right side. So 1 for 1 and 2 runs scored and 2 stolen bases for Bartlett tonight.
You know, it's fun to watch Maben run. Maybe he will run here. Who knows? I mean, they're up 7-1. Probably stay put.
13 steals for Maben on the season, and Zito pays a visit.
Hey, Professor, my mom and dad are in town. And you know what I did today?
What?
I took a left-hand turn.
Good for you.
Yeah, did a little something different.
Just let life come to you.
Exactly.
Huh?
How about you?
Well, I had a bad day.
Really?
There goes Maben. Throw by Whiteside, not in time. Padres have their 3rd steal. Maben with number 14.
Maben running all over the diamond. He roams out in center field, runs stuff down. Running to second base on the stolen base. And safely, and that's another King Stallman stolen base for Cameron Maben.
So the Padres are 3 for 4 stealing against Zito and Whiteside. Well, I appreciate when you call me Professor, and Drysdale used to call me that, and it honors such a noble profession, and I'm proud to have been an assistant professor in college. But I got a good new nickname now after today.
Really?
Yeah, I'm good. You might as well call me the accountant.
The accountant.
You know, we have our bags with all of our score books and all of our media guides and everything, that we take on the road and we bring to the ballpark. Well, we had a little accident today.
Oh, no.
Bartlett swings and misses. I had taken my bag out to the garage and I was about to put it in the trunk of the car, and I got a phone call that required me going back upstairs and asking my wife a question. When I came back down, I forgot that I didn't put my bag in the trunk, and backed over it. It gives no meaning to crunching numbers. You know what I mean? So just call me the accountant.
I got you.
I mean, I splattered my bag. I mean, it just is all my scorebook, and I broke stuff in there. I didn't. It just is an awful way to start the day.
Well, think of it this way, and here's the positive. Here's the half glass, right? The glass half full.
Yeah.
The bag had a bad day. You didn't.
Well, there you go. And they still sell those bags.
The bag can be replaced.
Yep, you're right. But it just didn't feel good at the time.
You're not going to get one from me, but the bag can be replaced.
Didn't expect that. You gave me my gift from Boston.
And I appreciate your gift you gave me from Wimbledon.
2 balls, 2 strikes to Bartlett. Pulled foul. Watch out, Glenn Hoffman. That one was aimed right at his backside.
Mentioned it earlier. If you get an off-speed pitch from the left-hander Zito and it's middle in, spin on it, turn on it. the soft stuff away, try to take it to right center field and down the right field line. It would be nice for the Padres to get that one run back.
Maben at second with one out. Bounced up the middle, but shading towards second was Burris, and he throws out Bartlett, 2 away. And Denorfia, the hitter, grounded to short and walked and scored. Guillermo Mota starting to warm up. Zito is scheduled to hit third in the top of the 5th inning. Fastball on the outside corner at 83. Maben 90 feet away from making it an 8-1 San Diego lead. Punch foul.
Well, the one positive thing up until this point, obviously, is the score. San Diego 7, Giants 1. But what have the hitters done tonight? I really think they've taken advantage and capitalized on Barry Zito's mistakes. The pitches that he has left up in the zone, they have capitalized. They put it in play. A couple crooked numbers, 3 in the first and 4 in the third.
Line to right field. That's going to be in for a hit. Maben walks in with the 8th run on a single by Denorfia. Credit Denorfia with his 16th RBI.
As Tony Gwynn would say, that's good hitting. And it looks like Boch is going to make a double switch. Out to talk to home plate umpire Brian Runge.
So the Padres, you have to go all the way back to May 16th for a game in which San Diego scored 8 runs. They got 8 against Arizona on the 16th. Pitching change for San Francisco, brought to you by the Law Tigers, San Diego's motorcycle injury lawyers who ride. Pitcher profile brought to you by Lolita's at the Park, where you can always enjoy quality, fresh Mexican food and a wonderful evening happy hour 7 days a week. Our Mota's number for the 2011 season as he makes his 31st appearance for Bruce Bochy. The kind of relief pitcher, middle reliever, you could expect a couple of innings or more considering this game. Inherits an 8-1 San Diego lead. Double switch, and Andres Torres, the star of last night, comes into the game in center field. Shearholz is out. Ross moves from left to right, and Rowan moves from center to left. So the outfield for the Giants, Rowan in left field, Torres in center, and Ross in right. Put Torres in the pitcher's spot, the 9th spot in the batting order. He'll hit third in the top of the 5th inning. Here's Ludwig. He's walked and flied out and takes a strike. Well, if you're just joining us, unusual game for the power deficient Padres. 2 3-run homers, one by Guzman, another by Hudson, counting for 6 of their 8 runs. Padres are last in the National League in home runs with a 2 tonight, 50 for the year.
And the Padre hitters are going to have to turn up the dial against Guillermo Mota. He can get that fastball up to 94, 95. He throws a slider and a change.
2 strikes on Ludwig. Denorfi at first. Grounded sharply, but Burris playing in the right spot to throw him out. And the Padres gone in the 4th, but they collect another run on a couple of hits and a stolen base by Maben to set him up in scoring position.
Mid-game recap, as always, brought to you by Murray Lampert Construction. It's time to improve your home. Now's a great time. Visit MurrayLampert.com to see their work. Get remodeling tips, meet the team, or even schedule a consultation. MurrayLampert.com. Dick?
All right, Mark Grant and Lupke working quickly. Faces the lower third of the order, Whiteside, Burris, and then it's Andres Torres batting 9th. Quickly ahead on the count. Well, actually 1-1, and that pitch misses 2-1. Torres had a terrific game last night. 3 hits, 3 runs scored. So he's in the lineup now, hitting in the 9th spot as the count goes 2-2 to Whiteside, who walked his first time. Lupke staked to an 8-1 lead. Foul, watch out. That went off the screening in front of the Giants dugout. 2 hits allowed by Lupke, a single in the first, Tejada, and the triple into the right field corner by Sandoval, who scored the run in the 4th. Came in on the Ross sacrifice fly. Struck him out. And for Lupke, that's number 4. Well, he's got late life on that fastball. He's not overpowering, not up there 96, 97, but 92, 93 with. That's a great expression. And pitching coaches say, yeah, late life. That means that ball jumping on the hitters that last 30, 40 feet.
And I think Corey also has to his advantage that little bit of a downward plane working down in the zone when he can really locate that fastball, and also with the breaking ball that we saw there.
Burris grounded to second. His only at bat. A rare time Lupke behind on the count 2-0. And there's a strike with a fastball pinned on the right outside corner.
Well, he works quickly, doesn't he?
He just gets the ball and looks in and takes a sign, and here we go. 3-1.
Hey, Clayton Richard, when he was at the White Sox, he learned that from Mark Burley. He works quickly. Maybe Corey picked it up from Clayton Richard.
Ground ball, big hop to the third baseman Gonzalez. Fires across for the out. 2 gone, and here's Torres. Last night, he singled and scored in the first. Lined a single RBI in the 5th and stole a base and scored. Doubled to left center and scored and knocked in a run there. So 3 runs scored, 2 RBIs, and he swings at the first pitch and sends a soft fly to right fielder Denorfia. That is a very quick 3 up, 3 down inning for Corey Luebke. We're at the halfway mark in this one, 4.5 in the book, and it's an 8-1 San Diego lead.
It's up to $41,000. We're back with the Channel 4 home run inning presented by Harrah's Rincon Casino. If a grand slam has hit this inning, we've heard it all year long, you could win that $41,000. But you have to register at 4sd.com. So good luck. And maybe somebody will hit one in the beach this inning. Hopefully it's a grand slam. Somebody's going home with 41 large.
And you know what large is? Huge. That's exactly right. Well, they've got their home run hitting clothes on. A couple of 3-run homers. Load them up and let's see what happens. Jesus Guzman, how about a 3-run homer and an RBI single and scoring 2 runs? What a day already for the former Giant property. Facing Mota for the first time and takes a strike, a fastball. The young catcher that the Giants just called up, Hector Sanchez, has gone into the game for Whiteside. Ground ball pulled toward third, and that's a foul ball. Foul ball. That might have been tough enough for Sandoval to throw him out. How about a cold hard blast? It's presented by Coors Light, the world's most refreshing beer. Guzman first inning, 2 men on, 2 out. And we'll see you in the left field bleachers. 374-foot homer. They get the Padres in front early, 3-0. Second home run of the year. 1-2.
You know, Dick, isn't it great to have this many people at the ball yard tonight? I mean, it's like, and I know I've used this analogy before.
High fly ball. Torres in center. One away.
But it's like an actor performing on Broadway. You know, nobody likes if you got a theater that has 5,000 seats, right? There's 1,500 people that show up. You know, an actor's not going to be it. He wants to be in a house that's full, and I think that brings out the best in actors. It brings out the best in ball players and athletes alike.
Well, the attendance tonight's going to boost just these first 3 games well over 100,000, 74,000 for the first 2. You know, the Padres, despite the fact that their season's been disappointing, they'd like to get out of last place. Hudson now bats left-handed, hit a 3-run homer right-handed last time up. The Padres are one of, I want to get this right now, of I think only 10 teams in the major leagues that their attendance is above where that club was a year ago.
I got you.
And 12, it's actually 12, I'm sorry. 12 teams have increased their attendance this year. And here are the Padres, and it's testimony to what great fans we have in this city. They are loyal, and they've stuck with it, and they're still coming out and enjoying a nice game at Petco. Yes, there are a lot of Giants fans here as well for the series, and we welcome them. But the continued support of the San Diego populace for the home team and their patience is just to be admired, and there's going to be a reward down the line. 2-2 now to Orlando Hudson. You see better things as you go down through the farm system. Better hitting, better pitching. You know, Wade LeBlanc is 9-1 at Tucson.
I know.
Won again last night. 2-2. And the count goes full. And Casey Kelly, who came with Anthony Rizzo in the Adrian Gonzalez deal, along with a young center fielder over in Lake Elsinore. Casey Kelly's 9-3 at San Antonio.
Good for him. I mean, the Texas League, that's a tough league.
Ray Fuentes, the center fielder at Lake Elsinore, and some feel that he might be the prize of the lot of those 3 outstanding prospects acquired from the Red Sox. Mota with his first strikeout. Alberto Gonzalez, a walk and a single.
Well, speaking of youngsters, the Padres are still trying to sign their 48th overall pick and 58th overall pick. Michael Kelly, right-handed pitcher that we've mentioned, and Brett Austin. They were out working out today here at Petco Park.
A couple of 18-year-old youngsters. They look like they've got a lot of talent. Yeah, it's a nice thing to do. You bring a youngster just out of high school. You see the big league situation, put on a big league uniform, and there they are. The right-hander Kelly from West Boca Raton, Florida, and Brett Austin is 18 from Charlotte, the catcher. They worked out before the game, and you do a little salesmanship and tell these 2 guys, you know, you could be the pitcher and catcher of the Battery when you come up to the big leagues someday.
Sure.
Sign together, grow together. I hope they enjoyed their day's experience and have a pen with ink in it. Of course, a lot of money involved in signing a high draft pick, and it depends on whether or not the 2 sides can come to an agreement. Let's hope so. And breaking ball, and Gonzalez chases. A couple of strikeouts for Mota. First time tonight. The Padres go in order. Complete 5 innings. 8-1 San Diego. the action. His birthday a couple of nights ago, and that was the game that went extra innings. The Padres unable to hold the 1-0 lead. A reminder, 2 better than 1. You know that, and you get 2 tickets for the price of 1 Tuesday nights, right field upper reserve section. First pitch, Rowan swings, sends a high pop fly into shallow right, and Orlando Hudson has it for the out. Again, every Tuesday night, 2 for 1 Tuesdays, presented by Coca-Cola. Normally $13.50 those seats. You get 2 at $6.75 each. Get your tickets online at Padres.com/2 for 1. The next Tuesday night game, July 26th against Arizona here at Petco.
Mark it down. Have a good old night at the ball yard.
That's a good date night for
our
young fans. Yeah. Tejada, single and a ground out. Well, Lukey is 1 out into the 6th inning, and this next delivery is 80th pitch. 2-0.
And as he has been inserted into the starting rotation, the pitch count starting to go up. First time out 75, second time out at Seattle 87, last time out in San Francisco 100.
That ball hit well to left center field, and that's up the gap. That ball is not only up the gap, it's into the bullpen. A home run, Tejada. His 4th of the year. Boy, did that ball jump. 8-2 San Diego as Tejada strikes long.
We talk about pitchers falling behind. Advantage hitter. This is a 2-0 fastball that's elevated. Miguel Tejada gets extended. And you're right, that ball did get out in a hurry. Solo shots at this point of the game are fine. See if Corey Lukey can make an adjustment here with 1 out and forget about that home run and get 2 quick outs.
Sandoval tripled into the right field corner the last time and scored the other Giants run as Ross brought him in on a sacrifice fly. Lukey ahead on the count, 2 strikes. In the dirt, and Sandoval doesn't offer. We got word that Rawhide, we were talking about the TV show,
yes,
and it was on like 5 or 6 years. Clint Eastwood was the star?
I did not know that.
That was the start of his great career.
Oh.
1-2 pitch. Sandoval does not offer.
I remember the day you and I were on the bus. I forgot where we were going. Maybe it was Arizona to the ballpark, and you shocked me. You said, guess how old Clint Eastwood is? Was he 80, 82?
Yeah, he's over 80. And the count now full on Sandoval. 81 to be exact, and you know, not only a fantastic actor, but he's become a terrific director. Fouled away.
Corey Lukey's been a terrific director tonight, directing of his pitches. See where I went with that one, Dick? Did you like that segue?
Oh, yeah, that's just you've got a lot of O's in your smooth.
How many O's on that?
Smooth, that'd be about 4. Swing and a miss, strike 3. A check swing on a 92-mile-an-hour fastball. Lukey has 5 strikeouts.
It's the fastball. He will chase up and away. He blows it by him. And as my good friend Mike Krukow, who does color for the Giants, would say, grab some pine, meat.
Meaning take a seat on the bench.
That's right. There's Kruk. The best.
Mike Krukow and Dwayne Kuiper, the announcing team for the Giants. And when you're up north there in the Bay Area, they must be good because you hear raves from everyone.
Absolutely. That's a good duo right there. 2 of my best friends in all of the game of baseball. Teammates of mine back in 1984 with the Gigantes.
Krukow ready to go in there. He's got just like you, always got a baseball in your hand. And the count goes 1-1. Cody Ross, who struck out and flied to right to knock in the run. You never know when the phone might ring.
Exactly. Mike was a 20-game winner back in 1986.
Drive to left center field. Maben races over and closes the gap. Line out to center. That's it for the Giants. They get a run on Miguel Tejada's 4th home run of the season. We're in the middle of the 6th inning. 8-2, San Diego.
Coming your way. Ball one. That's a shocker. Ball one. Saturday, August 20th, when your Padres play the Florida Marlins. The first pitch is at 5:35. Country star Dierks Bentley will be performing live on the field after the game. This special postgame concert is free with a game ticket for this date. Get your tickets today at Padres.com/Dierks. That's Dierks, D-I-E-R-K-S.
That'll be a Saturday night, 5:30 game, so a nice way to spend a weekend evening at the ballpark and with a concert as well. No extra charge for the concert to follow the game, as Rob Johnson, Corey Lupke, and Cameron Maben will bat in the 6th inning. 8-2 San Diego. Johnson up twice, has struck out twice, and takes a strike from Guillermo Mota. Barry Zito went 3 2/3, a rough outing for the left-hander. 8 runs all earned, a couple of 3-run homers, 7 hits, 4 walks, and 3 strikeouts.
You know, Dick, there's a song by Dierks Bentley that pretty much sums up my life.
What's that?
The name of the song?
Yeah.
What was I thinking?
What was the song?
What was I thinking? That's it.
Okay, Abbott. Pop up, and here comes Huff to the edge of the dugout of the Padres, and it plants right on the O of San Diego on the top of that first base home. And Johnson's still alive, 1-2. He doesn't have any unusual titles in some of his hits.
Let's see. I want to make you close your eyes sideways. Settle for a slowdown. I like that title.
Sounds like some close dancing.
Oh,
huh?
here's my favorite. How you doing? No, I'm kidding.
1-2 to Rob Johnson. Fastball taken upstairs, 94 miles an hour. Well, tomorrow, 1 o'clock game. That's our start time here on Channel 4 San Diego. A couple of Mats, Latos and Kane, 2 right-handers to duel on Military Appreciation Day. 3-2. And the first 8,000 of you youngsters 14 and younger will get those military T-shirts. We'll salute our military as always on Sunday. So like to see you out here for the conclusion of this 4-game homestand with the Giants. Smothered foul. And then on the road to Florida and Philadelphia Tuesday night, 3:45 our TV time. Stauffer against Anibal Sanchez. Then it's Harang on Wednesday night, a Thursday day game, no TV on Thursday.
Well, the Marlins putting a hurting on the Cubs today, 13-3 final from Wrigley.
Ball was flying at Wrigley, wasn't it? Foul back by Johnson.
You know, there's an old story going to Wrigley Field. Get out of the cab and check the flags.
Because that was one of his hits, too.
Yeah, that's climbing the charts very quickly. But as a pitcher, you're starting that day, oh, yeah, that's what you do. You get out of the cab and you're seeing which way that wind is blowing.
Blowing in off the lake. Put me on the mound.
Exactly.
3-2, and here it comes again to Johnson. Struck him out, so Rob Johnson has gone down 3 straight times on strikes. That's the 3rd strikeout for Mota. Lupke struck out and grounded to second. Still looking for his first major league hit, 0 for 15. Young looking 26, isn't he?
Yes, he is. He's got a great future ahead of him.
Takes a strike.
You know, even though the Marlins, that's the next stop, as you mentioned, Dick, 14.5 games going into today in the National League East. They've won 8 out of their last 11, so they're playing good baseball.
They got that young Mike Stanton. He's a horse.
Yes,
he hit a homer today to the opposite field, way out in right field. Two and one the count. On the inside corner. Maben on deck. Here in the 6th, Padres with a 6-run advantage. Whoa, watch out.
Look out.
That was aimed right at our first base camera. That would have been an expensive foul ball. Come on, you got to charge those line drives.
That's Danny down there, and this is coming right at you, folks.
Just low enough.
Yep. How you doing, Danny? You all right? Look out! Here it comes again.
Get a helmet on.
Woo!
And there comes the ball.
There's another one.
Hide behind that piece of iron. 2-2 again to Lupke. That's over the outside corner. Strike 3. So Mota struck out 4 in a row. He got Hudson and Gonzalez to end the 5th. Johnson and Lupke opening the 6th. Cameron Maben tapped to the mound, grounded to short, and singled to center, and stole his 14th base. Came around to score on Denorfia's single in the 4th inning. His 40th run scored to lead the Padres this year. Colorado leading Milwaukee again 3-0. The Rockies are starting to warm up. Still think that that's a team, if I were the Giants, I'd be worried about. Dodgers and Arizona 3-2 in the 8th inning. The D-backs in the lead.
Well, the surprise this year in the National League has got to be those Buccos from Pittsburgh.
Oh, yes. Tied for first. Inside, 2-1 to Maben. Good for them.
Yeah, they lost today 6-4 to the Astros. So that now puts them at 48-44.
Two and one. That's a strike. Good slider. We've got to bow to that pitch.
Yeah, Mota's got good tilt on that slider.
Check swing foul. Base is empty here in the 6th. 2 balls, 2 strikes on the leadoff man, Maben. That's right, he's hitting first tonight. And the slider in the dirt. Three-run homers by Guzman and Hudson, igniting this big lead for San Diego tonight. Guzman chipping in with a RBI single as well, so 4 runs driven in by Guzman. Aaron Harang, Tim Stauffer with Lukey.
They all stick together, don't they?
Roller to the right side. It's going to be a close race to first, and Moda gets there in time. Moda retiring the Padres in order for the 2 innings that he has worked. We are on to the 7th inning, 8-2. San Diego here at Petco. Padres baseball brought to you by Permodontics, Southern California's premier dental implant center. By Goldman Sachs, for all the reasons you invest, mutual funds from Goldman Sachs. And by Hughes Marino, because where you do business matters. With our director Tom Satursky, producer Ed Barnes, Chiron Bob, doing all the good work down there. Mark Grant, Dick Enberg, nice that you joined us tonight. 7th inning we go, 8-2 San Diego. They're raising them young here, these Padres fans. That'd be a good Padre giveaway pacifier night.
Yeah.
We could use those sometimes on the road.
Yeah, Binky night. I like it. That's a great promotion.
Swing and a miss. Chris Stewart, the batter, and fouls this one back. Backup catcher. Hitting for Moda. And then it's Huff and Whiteside, or actually Sanchez now. One and two. So Lupke giving up a couple of runs on just 3 hits. One of the hits, Tejada's home run, the other Sandoval's triple that led to the other giant run. Off the corner, 2-2.
Tell you what, Guillermo Mota backing up what we talked about in our pregame show and the Giants bullpen versus the Padres this season, huh?
7 up, 7 down.
Yeah.
Huh? High pop fly. Shortstop Bartlett calls off Guzman, but Guzman says, I've got it, or rather Gonzalez, and he takes care of it. Brings up Huff. Bounce to the mound and foul to the catcher. Yeah, Mota comes in relief of Zito and retires all 7 men. Ground ball sharply by Hudson into right center field. Maben will get it in, and Huff with the 4th Giant hit of the night. Hector Sanchez will bat for the first time.
Is this a skimmer? Yeah, this ball is hit on the line. One hopper just out of the reach of Orlando Hudson.
Thought he had it. Sanchez just called up from Fresno after the All-Star break. Only time up he walked. So he's in quest of his first big league hit. There are his numbers at AAA Fresno. Out goes 2-0. And Lupke now over the 100 mark. 101 in his pitch count. Stirring out in the bullpen for San Diego.
Working downhill. If you're going to make a mistake, make sure it's down out of the zone. If you're going to go up the ladder by design, yeah, get it up around the bill of that cap.
Chad Qualls loosening up. Slapped down the right field side, deep into the lower deck. Two and two on this young catcher. Ground ball backhanded by Gonzalez. There's one back to first. A double play around the horn, and there were some athletic throws in that sequence. Gonzalez off balance to Hudson off balance in the stretch at first by Guzman. 5, 4, 3. Post-game show, our birthday girl Jenny Kavnar and Bob Scanlon standing by at our Channel 4 studios. Saquon Casino, get away for the day at Saquon Casino. Ramon Ramirez to pitch the 7th inning for the Giants. Mota, 2 1/3 innings, no runs, no hits, struck out 4. And now it's Ramirez. So the Padres trying to hand the Giants a loss. Tighten up this series. San Francisco leading 5-3 in the games played thus far. After the Padres put it on the eventual World Series champions last year, winning 12 of 18 games. Chris Stewart stays in the game at first base. giving Huff a breather. Ramirez will face Bartlett, Denorfia, and Ludwig here in the Padres' 7th inning. Crawford replaces Tejada at shortstop. Bruce Bochy with a day game tomorrow, giving those veteran legs a breather, down 8-2.
I thought you just had.
Wait a minute. Tejada's still in the game. He's over at third, and it's Sandoval who gets the breather. So there's only player for the Giants that is still at the position where when this game started is second baseman Burris. Line drive, base hit. Bartlett greets Ramirez with a solid single. He's 2 for 3. So it's Sandoval for Tejada at third, Crawford at short, Burris at second, Stewart at first, Rowan in left. He started in center. Torres in center, and Ross in right. He started in left. Sanchez behind the plate for Whiteside. And of course, we've had some pitching changes as well. Denorfia an RBI single and a walk, 1 for 2, and scored a run. Good slider from Ramirez. The Padres 8 runs, 8 hits. Giants 2 runs, 4 hits. One the count. Brian Ludwig on deck, and then Jesus Guzman, who has been the hitting star for the Padres with a 3-run homer and an RBI single. 4 runs driven in for Guzman. He had 4 RBIs all season and matches that with 4 today. Low and away. 2-1 to Denorfia. Big hole on that right side with Stewart holding on Bartlett. Bartlett with a couple of steals tonight, has 20 for the year. In the dirt, 3-1. $42,024 here on another sellout. That's the 4th sellout of the season, the 2nd in consecutive nights. Foul back, just shy of our location.
Didn't get under it enough. Not enough height to get into our booth. Still waiting.
116,000 attracted to the first 3 games of this series.
Well, that's some kind of mess.
So with tomorrow, they'll be around 150,000 for the 4-game set. Pom-pom night. Oh, gonna take some home. No, you're going to take yours home with you, aren't you, out to Alpine?
What in the Tony Basil is going on here?
Full count to Denorfia.
Little 80s reference there, Dick. Tony Basil.
I missed that whole decade.
Did you?
Yeah, I just don't even remember what happened.
You missed a great one.
There goes the runner, and Denorfia slaps it foul.
He had the right idea.
Still plenty of daylight here as we approach 7:45 in the evening on this Friday night in San Diego. Again, the full count on Denorfia. Runner goes inside, ball 4. No 2 men on for Ryan Ludwig.
You know, quite honestly, I know it's 8-2. I'd like to see the wheels come off here for the Giants and have the Padres get a little chance to have a laugher once in a while, right? After the way things have been going.
And build upon that for tomorrow.
Sure.
Try to split this 4-game series. You know that there are other teams rooting for San Diego to knock off the Giants, who have built their lead to 4.5 over Arizona, 8.5 in front of Colorado. The Dodgers, with 5 straight wins, are 11.5 back, and the Padres 14 off the lead. Milwaukee getting a couple of runs in the 6th inning, and now trail Colorado 3-2. Ludwig, foul ball. Oh, he's keeping Glenn Hoffman on his toes down there in that third base coaching box. That's a couple that have whistled by Hoffy.
Hey, you know what else has been nice tonight for Glenn Hoffman? He's had some visitors come his way, right?
Yeah. Better yet, we've seen him wave them home.
Good call. Todd Hutchison and Paulie Navarre are going to have to get those ice bags ready after the game to ice that shoulder of Glenn Hoffman.
Bartlett at second. And Northey at first, and another high foul ball back to home. 2 strikes on Ludwig, who is grounded to short, walked and scored. Check that. He walked in the 1st inning and scored, fly to center and grounded to second. Padres, who are 1 for 40 with runners in scoring position, now are 4 for the last 7. Struck him out. Slider gets Ludwig. First strikeout for Ramirez. And here's Guzman. He has a chance to have himself a big league game. He's got 4 RBIs on a 3-run homer and a single. He scored twice, and he's up there with 2 men aboard here in the 7th. Takes upstairs, ball 1. "26-year-old, now 27, Venezuelan. Always a good hitter. Signed by the Padres in the offseason as a minor league free agent, and assigned to Tucson, and here helping the big club this last month. He, in essence, replacing Jorge Cantu when Cantu was released. Haven't heard of anyone picking him up, Cantu, have you?
I was just going to ask. I don't think George has been picked up by anybody.
He may be down on that Mexican 4,000-acre cattle ranch. 2-0 to Guzman. 2 on, 1 out. There's that slider. Last year at Fresno, the Giants' top farm team, he hit .321, Guzman. Had a cup of coffee with the Giants in 2009, 20 at-bats. In the dirt, so the count 3-1 to Guzman, so hitters count.
Good recognition of that slider out of the hand by Guzman. Just spitting on that pitch, and it looked like Ramirez pitching backwards there. Fastball count. He flipped up the slider.
Runners lead away. Bartlett from second, Northia at first. 3-1 to Guzman. That ball gets away, and the runners will advance. A slider that Guzman swung and missed. Bartlett goes to third, and Denorfia to second. On the pass ball, charged to young Sanchez.
A breaking ball, as you mentioned, Dick, out of the hand. Looks like very catchable ball right there.
So now Guzman can pick up a 5th RBI on an out. The infield's going to draw in. The outfield back. Full count. Ground ball to short. The runners have to hold. Bobbled by Crawford, and then across to Stewart for the out. Well, he hit it sharply, but right to the glove of the shortstop. Hudson, one hopper to the mound, a 3-run homer into the left field seat, and a strikeout. Hudson's second home run of the season, and here it is, and that boosted the Padre lead to 6-0. They later, actually 7-0 at the time. They had scored a run prior in that inning. Strike on the outside corner with a fastball at 92. So Hudson with 3 RBIs. There's 2 more sitting out there for him. A base hit. Hits it hard, but foul down the left field side.
Well, according to my calculations, I was just looking over my scorebook here for the Padres. 2-out hits. They've had 5 2-out hits tonight. And you know what? 2 of them have been big flies. 2 3-run home runs with 2 outs. That's clutch.
Calm skipper tonight. Bud Black making his notes.
Look at that. He's going over that lineup like it's Game 7 of the World Series. I mean, he is always locked in, right? 10-0 deficit, 10-0 winning, 1-0 scoreless.
Chess game.
Yep.
Got to think ahead. Outside, 1-2 to Hudson. We're in the last of the 7th. Padres with 2 men in scoring position. Bartlett at third, D'Onofrio at second. And Hudson awaits the 1-2 pitch from Ramon Ramirez. Two and two. Arizona has defeated the Dodgers 3-2. That's the same score in Colorado, with the Rockies in front of Milwaukee in the 6th inning. Bottom of the 6th. Now the count goes 3-2 to Hudson. Ball 4. Well, Ramirez was ahead 0-2 and loses Hudson, his second walk of the inning. Bases full, a Padre at every pillow for Alberto Gonzalez. Gonzalez with a walk, a single, and a strikeout, 1 for 2. Sharply hit to short, bobbled by Crawford. A run scores. Bartlett checks in. It's 9-2. Well hit ball, and Crawford trying to get over into the hole, brace himself, catch and throw, and get the force at second, and commits the error.
Yeah, I thought that was a very makeable play for Crawford at shortstop. The ball hit sharply. 2 or 3 hopper. It kind of got caught in between. It looked like he was trying to get in front of that baseball. Could not catch it cleanly. Get another chance for the Padres to add on even more.
So the bases remain loaded for Rob Johnson, who's had a rough outing at the plate. 3 times up, 3 times struck out. Anthony Rizzo grabs a bat. Pitcher due next. So Lupke, having worked 7 solid innings, his night's work is finished apparently. Meanwhile, Santiago Casilla throwing in the bullpen for San Francisco. And Johnson, chance to do more damage. 1-1 the count. There's Casilla. fouled out of play. Denorfia at third, Hudson at second, Gonzalez at first.
I had a nice chat with Darren Balson before the game, and he just sang the praises of Rob Johnson, what he has done behind the plate, sticking to the game plan and working with the rotation.
Line drive, base hit. He joins the hit parade. 2 more runs come home. Denorfia and Hudson, and the Padres have hit double figures. RBIs 9 and 10 on the season for Rob Johnson, and the Padres have hit around. Well, no, this is the 8th man coming up in the 9th spot.
Well, as Mr. Haverkamp would say, oh, Dolly, I'm hot today. The hits are coming in bunches for the Padres tonight. Into double digits in the R column on that scoreboard.
Some nice crooked numbers up there.
Yes,
3
sir.
in the first, 4 in the third, now 3 here in the 7th. And 1 back in the 4th inning for an 11-2 lead. Well, the dam is broken after the Padres just struggling desperately to score runs the last 6 games, 5 runs in 65 innings. And now they roll an 11-7 against the Giants tonight. Here's Rizzo. And he takes a fastball strike.
They've done a nice job tonight hitting mistakes. Pitches elevated, putting a hurting on them.
These runs will all be unearned. The Crawford error giving the Padres an extra out here in the 7th. And those bases on balls. Giants have walked 6 batters and 5 of them have scored tonight.
Have I told you that before? Walks will kill you. Write that one down in your scorebook. Could you do that for me?
I'm going to put it in red. Swing and a miss. That big swing at a changeup. 1-2 to Rizzo. 2 on and 2 out here in the 7th, and 3 runs home. Fouled away. Started with Bartlett's sharp single to center. Denorfia walked after Ludwig had struck out and Guzman grounded out. Hudson walked to load the bases. Gonzalez ground ball to short, bobbled by Crawford for an error. Run scored. And then the 2-run single for Rob Johnson. Ground ball to first. Stewart will take it to the bag himself, and the inning's over. 8 men come up, 3 score, all unearned on just 2 hits, 2 left. To you by Discount Tire, where America saves on tires. Other NL West action. Ian Kennedy, another strong outing. Gets all he needs on one swing from Brandon Allen, a 3-run homer, and the D-backs beat the Dodgers 3-2. Bottom of the 6th in Colorado, the Rockies with a 3-2 lead. How about that? The totals of those two games identical, although the Rockies game in the 6th inning. Corey Hart accounting for the 2 runs for the Brewers with a homer. Josh Spence, a young Aussie left-hander, comes in to work the 8th inning for the Padres. Changes now. Forsythe just called up. Logan Forsythe is at third, with Gonzalez moving over to second. Hudson out of the game, and Rizzo at first base. So the infield, Forsythe, Bartlett on the left side, Gonzalez at second, Rizzo at first. There's Logan.
Welcome back, Logan.
3 times up and 3 times down to the big leagues. Forsythe hitting 167 with a big club, but well over 300 down in Tucson. Emmanuel Burris has grounded out twice. How about Lupke? 7 innings, 2 runs, 4 hits, only 1 walk. So his control again outstanding. Saw fouled out of play.
A great day in the big leagues for the young left-hander Corey Lupke. Glad to see that.
1 walk and 5 strikeouts. Matt Latos will take the ball tomorrow, looking for his 6th win against Matt Cain, a tough right-hander. Cain, the winningest Giant, 8-5. 1-1. He went around. One and 2 from Spence. Misses the outside corner. Changeup. Likeable young man from Geelong, Australia, Victoria State. Ground ball to third. Forsythe gets the play immediately and fires across to Rizzo for the out. Our Skycam shot tonight brought to you by Mossy Ford and Mossy Toyota. Visit us in Pacific Beach or online at mossy.com. Looking down into Petco Park, and a crowd of 42,024, raising the 3-game series attendance to 116,000. Hope to see you out here tomorrow, 1 o'clock. First pitch to Andres Torres, who entered the game in the 5th inning and flied to right field. Takes a strike. Hits that ball deep to left field. Ludwig going back, and that's going to one-hop the wall. And Torres has a double. Now he continues his hot hitting against Padre pitching. He was hitting only .077 right-handed. And now has a double hitting from that side.
Looked like Torres was out in front of an off-speed pitch. I know Josh Spence does not throw hard, 83-84 on the fastball, but he went out in front of that pitch and got it to pull it down that left field line. And there's something about soft tossers. I love to watch guys like Josh Spence twirl. Livan Hernandez. Josh Spence flipping it up there and getting guys out.
Rowan has popped twice to second and flied to center. Takes a strike. And the fastball at 83.
Yep.
Barry Zito would be proud.
Yep. Hey, Barry Zito still has a lot in the tank, I think. I mean, he, in some ways, you kind of think about how he has tried to reinvent himself, you know, to try to get people out.
Slider for a strike, 0-2 the count. Nubbed off the head of the bat. That's a tough play now. Rizzo, quick flip in time to Spence. With Torres moving to third. So the youngsters, Rizzo and Spence, worked the 3-1 play. So you go back to spring training and the young kids that we saw working out, you wondered when they might be up at the big leagues, and they collaborate on that out. 2 away.
You know what the key to that play was? Josh Spence realizing that he could not get to that baseball, so you bust your tail over to first base. That's your responsibility.
Brings up Tejada, 2 for 3. Miguel, RBI on the home run, of course, in the 6th inning as he drove one into the Padre bullpen, his 4th of the year, and he singled back in the 1st inning. Still a tough out. Giants with a chance to pick up a 3rd run with Torres at 3rd, and it's 2-0 on Tejada. Foul back, 2-2. Brandon Crawford is hitting in the 3rd spot, Sandoval's spot. He'll be next. Sure, Tejada keep this inning going. That's in there. Strike 3 called. Josh Spence strikes out Tejada. That's not an easy accomplishment. He rarely does go down on strikes. Bottom of the 8th inning. Padres leading 11-2. The 2 and the hit of the game came early. Brought to you by El Cajon Ford. Jesus Guzman, 2 on, 1st inning, and he drives it deep to left field for a 3-0 early lead for the Padres. And as Tony Gwynn says, nobody beats El Cajon Ford. Visit them at Broadway in Maine or elcajonford.com. Santiago Casilla, the 4th hurler used by Bruce Bochy tonight. In the 8th inning, will face the top of the Padre order. Maben, Bartlett, and Denorfia. Padres making the most out of their base hits tonight. 11 runs on 9 hits. A couple of home runs with 2 men aboard. A 3-run shot by Guzman and a 3-run homer Orlando Hudson. Both of those off starter Barry Zito. Maben, a single and 4 at-bats. Slides it outside. It's a running fastball, 95 miles an hour. All 3 runs last inning against Ramirez unearned. Out in front, and that'll be back into the crowd. So the Padres 1 o'clock game tomorrow to conclude this brief 4-game homestand. Go on the road, 3 in Florida and 4 in Philadelphia. They'll be back on Tuesday night, 26, for a 3-game series with Arizona. Then the Rockies come in for 3 and the Dodgers for 3. Ground ball left side, 2 hops to Tejada, and a close play with the speed of Maben, but Tejada across for the out. TV time tomorrow, of course, 1 o'clock for our Honda Dealers pregame show, and for Tuesday and Wednesday night games in Florida, 3:45. Our television time here on Channel 4 San Diego.
And it's going to be the last time that the Padres play in that stadium in Florida, because they open up a new yard next year.
They go from the multi-purpose football stadium, baseball stadium, to their new home down where the old Orange Bowl used to rest.
You're quite familiar with that venue, huh?
I spent many a time there. Both for bowl games and for Miami Dolphins.
Also, there's going to be a name change.
You're going to change your name?
I can do that. To Ulysses Simpson Grant. No more Florida. It's the Miami Marlins next year, 2012.
Outside the Bartlett, 1-2. I always wondered why, after all, they've got, Tampa Bay there. It's not as if they own the state,
right.
Florida. The Miami Marlins has a
like
nice,
that.
It's alliterative. Ground ball by the third baseman Tejada, and scoots out into left field. And Bartlett has a 3-hit night and a walk, and he scored 3 runs. Very productive evening, and a couple of steals as well.
He has done it all tonight. And Casilla flips up a slider. He goes down and gets that pitch rather than going the other way. Keeps his hands back nicely through the 5.5 hole. A good night for Flipper as he smiles. A lot of smiles in the dugout tonight for San Diego. Good to see.
So 10 hits, 11 runs for San Diego, and here's Denorfia. He's walked twice and scored both times, and he's knocked in a run with a single. So he's 1 for 2.
You know, the Miami Marlins used to be a minor league team. I'd have to do some research on that, but way back in the day. So they're going to the old school name, which I like.
I think that was back in the time when Havana was also in the International League. Swing and a miss, Denorfia. 1-1.
Yeah, that's back before the day when Fredo and Michael had to get out of town. Back to the States before the revolution. Things didn't pan out for Fredo, by the way.
Oh, up and in, 2-1.
You know, we talked about good days in the big leagues, right? Like Corey Lukey tonight. Bad day in the big leagues for Fredo that day, that out on Lake Tahoe, when didn't work out well for Fredo. In The Godfather, remember the movie?
Oh, that's right. Okay, I'm trying to, I was going to, call up the audience on, when you asked them to.
Oh, Lifeline?
Lifeline, yeah. But I'd just call you. You have all that trivia, music, movies. Did you ever study in school or anything like that?
TV was my downfall. I wasn't smart in the classroom, but I was smart when it came to TV.
2 balls, 2 strikes. Swing and a miss. Down goes Denorfia. That brings up Ludwig. Those were tremendous movies. We watched those. Awesome. I think it was during the holidays. They had a whole Godfather
Isn't that great?
But, with all the commercials and all, it's like a 6-hour experience when you watch it on TV.
You have to get the all 3 of them. And then just sit down and have a little party, maybe a little get-together, and kind of have some snacks and maybe a meal in between. Yeah.
You got to eat.
Have a little Italian, a little bacon, a little pasta, a little vino.
Ludwig has walked and scored. He's 0 for 3 on a fly-out, ground-out, strikeout.
Another guy who had a bad day in the big leagues, Sonny at the toll booth.
Oh, Sonny, that was not a good day.
Not a good day for Sonny.
Yeah, you got to pay your fare. They get you every time in Jersey. 11-2. The Padres enjoying a big lead here at Petco in the 8th inning. 2 outs to Ludwig and 2 strikes the count. Bartlett at first with his 3rd hit of the night. See how I worked hit into your whole conversation?
Got it. Very good. I like it.
You make me crazy, but I love it. Swung out and missed. Strike 3. Padres are gone in the 8th inning. They've struck out 10 times tonight, but they've also scored 11 runs and enjoy a 9-run advantage. By Los Primos, home of the Monster Burrito. Get your $5 meal deal. Limited time only. Most wins against division opponents. The Phillies at the start tonight, 28. Then the Reds and the Giants. Red Sox and Pirates. The Red Sox are the only team of the 4 on there that have won tonight. Phillies and Reds have already lost. Giants are losing, and the Pirates tasted defeat. But those are the teams that have made ground on their opponents by beating the division opponents. You see the Phillies for 4. Some feel that's the best team in the National League with that great starting pitching. Luke Gregerson back on the horse here in the 9th inning after being cuffed around Thursday night. Remember, in the extra innings, 12th inning, 1-1 tie, and Gregerson is mauled. He and Frieri. Venable comes in to play right field. DeNorfia moves to left, replacing Ludwig. And Gregerson's Achilles on Thursday night was control. He was wild outside on left-handed hitters.
Yeah, a lot of the fastballs were up and away to the left-handed hitters. The slider, he just couldn't find the release point. I talked to him the next day and I said, "Hey, are you healthy?" He goes, "Yeah, I'm healthy. It was just one of those nights I couldn't find my release point."
Crawford swings and misses, 1-2. Was his first at bat.
He was not getting extended on his pitches, and when you cut pitches short, what happens? The ball comes out of your hand a little bit too early, and everything is up and out of the zone. That's what happened with Luke. Hopefully he can get things right tonight.
Swing and a miss. A good start. Crawford goes down on strikes. That brings up Cody Ross.
Now that is the slider and the Luke Gregerson that we know and love. Bouncing right back for the strikeout. Take a look at the tilt on this slider. Out in front. Good rotation. See ya.
Ross 0 for 2. A sacrifice fly. Knocked in Pablo Sandoval after Sandoval tripled off Lupke back in the 4th inning. Ross had a home run last night. He's also struck out and lined to center. Chris Stewart on deck. There's that slider bending in for a strike. 0-2.
Oh, look out.
A little inside. Not with a fastball.
You could see that one coming out of the hand of Gregerson.
Well, the Padres started tonight trying to beat the odds as that one sails up and in. As the Giants have just mashed left-handed pitchers this year, 18-6, but Lupke defied that. Foul back. Going 7 innings, allowing just 2 runs and 4 hits, and getting plenty of run support. Those other pitchers on the staff have worked so well all season long, hoping there's some runs left for tomorrow against Matt Cain, as Matt Latos, 5-10, will be on the mound for San Diego. Military Appreciation Sunday. Struck him out on a slider. So both Crawford and Ross go down on strikes. And the Giants are down to their final out. This will be one of their worst defeats of the entire season. Chris Stewart came in late in the game and popped to third, is only at bat. Ball 1. Yeah, the Padres an out away from snapping that 7-game losing streak. Featured a 2-1 loss, a 1-0 loss, another 1-0 loss. They had a 1-0 win till the 9th inning on Thursday. So games in which they were so close, pitching good enough to help you win. Look what happens when you get a few runs.
Hey, it's nice once in a while to have a ha-ha-ha laugher. Every team needs those.
If the Giants do not score here in the 9th, it will indeed be their worst loss, most runs in arrears. 9 tonight. They did have an 8-run margin defeat earlier. Down to the final strike. 1-2. Luke Gregerson trying to strike out the side to close the deal. Remains 1-2. Well, there are times we talk about staying tuned for the Saquon Casino postgame show, and you wonder, what are they going to talk about?
Right.
Well, they got plenty tonight.
Absolutely.
You're going to want to watch all the highlights, scores, analysis. Kenny and Bob standing by.
The birthday girl.
Maybe that was the clue. 1-2. And slider outside and low. Stewart wouldn't bite. Maybe it was the pom-poms. That's way outside, and the count is full. Pitcher's spot is due next. 3-2. And he walked him. Well, Mike Fontenot will hit for the pitcher. This was originally Aubrey Huff's spot in the order. Fontenot, who started the last 2 games against right-handed pitching and probably will be the starting second baseman tomorrow against Latos. And he takes high, ball 1. Well, a couple of strikeouts. Crawford and Ross. And Stewart works Gregerson for a base on balls. Fontenot, the pinch hitter, is 0 for 12 on the season off the bench. That's a strike.
That's the pitch that Luke could not throw for a strike the other night. The backdoor slider to the left-handed hitter. Remember the other night, everything was up and away. Up and away, the fifth dimension. In my beautiful balloon.
That's the pitch that we threw too often the other night.
Yep.
The left-handed hitter is outside. 2-1 now to Fontenot. Gregerson looking for that final out. Go home on a happy Saturday night with a big win. High drive into right center field, and there's no one there. That's going to go all the way to the 400-foot sign. Stewart, with 2 outs running all the way, will come around to score, and it's 11-3 on a double by Fontenot.
Sometimes a slider out of Luke Gregerson's hand. You know, we often see that tilt straight down. Hitters will swing over the top of it. This one just kind of rolls up there. Didn't do much. It was outer half, elevated, and Fontenot got extended, driving home the 3rd run for the Giants.
Fontenot had a couple of hits last night. Drives in his 11th run with that double. And here's Hector Sanchez, the catcher. Grounded into a 5-4-3 double play his last time. Switch hitter. Looking for his first major league hit. Way out in front of the slider. Well, the Giants down to their final strike again. That's been a good exercise for the vocal cords for Padre fans. They haven't had a chance to cheer like this for a while. Two-strike pitch to Sanchez. Over, but a little high. Fontenot out at second with a 2-out double to knock in the 3rd Giant run. This will be one of the rare times that the Giants score 3 runs and don't win. Got him swinging. Gregerson strikes out the side. The ball game's over, and the Padres can take a deep breath. The losing streak is over at 7 as they win convincingly tonight, 11-3. We'll check the final totals for you and our comments as well as we return to Petco Park right after this.